everyone. So the Lakers are in the market of trying to acquire a big man. We've gotten recent reports that the Lakers are potentially working out on the Bojan Bogdanovic deal and trying to get Nerlens Noel as another big man. My thought process with that is maybe they are planning on starting Thomas Bryant at the 5, AD at the 4. If that's the case, then yes, you could really use another big man because for whatever reason, Damian Jones hasn't really been able to provide what the Lakers are looking for, so he hasn't got much burn. Now, ideally, I would love for them to get like an Alec Burke and maybe look at a DeMarcus Cousins or, Meyers Leonard. My ideal scenario would be Hassan Whiteside, but clearly the Lakers don't really seem to be showing any interest in him. Maybe that changes later on down the road. But DeMarcus Cousins and Meyers Leonard were recently worked out by the Lakers, and we haven't heard really much about them, right? We didn't hear if they had a good workout, if they had a bad workout. Are the Lakers curious in potentially bringing them in? Now, obviously, if the Lakers are working out a deal or trying to do some type of move to get a Nerlens Noel, well, then you don't need DeMarcus Cousins or Meyers Leonard. So maybe that's why we haven't heard anything. Maybe, hopefully, a deal is right around the corner, right? Maybe Monday morning we all wake up and we hear that the Lakers made some type of trade for Bojan Bogdanovic and Nerlens Noel. That would be beautiful news, right? Absolutely just wonderful. And I'd be very excited to hear that. But if you don't end up doing that, then yeah, DeMarcus Cousins makes a lot of sense, especially with them getting ready to play like Philadelphia. You really could use a DeMarcus Cousins or a Meyers Leonard, just somebody that could bang down low with Joel Embiid. But we did get an update thanks to Darvin Ham in regards to these workouts. It's not really too much, if I'm being honest. It kind of sounds like a yeah, they were okay, cool, but I don't think we're going to go that direction type response. But he was asked, what is going on with DeMarcus Cousins and Meyers Leonard? How was their workout? And Darvin Ham responded, it went great. We worked out both Meyers Leonard and DeMarcus. They both look great. Whether or not we were able to do something with them is a different story. We're constantly trying to kick the tires on different scenarios, but the first order of business is to get our guys healthy. But definitely, we appreciate them for coming in. They both looked great. Again, to me, it kind of sounds like, yeah, they were okay, but I don't think we're going to sign those guys. It's kind of how this sounds to me. But again, maybe it is as simple as the Lakers want to find out, can they get Nerlens Noel? Can they get Bojan Bogdanovic? They don't want to waste the 10-day contract. Also, maybe they're waiting for the Sterling Brown contract, 10-day contract to expire. Maybe they don't extend him, and then they go get DeMarcus Cousins or Meyers Leonard. That could be a possibility as well. So we'll have to see how this goes, but it kind of sounds like it wasn't really that great of a workout to where, oh man, we have to go get these guys. But nonetheless, they worked them both out. I really do think either of these guys could come in and make some help. If it came down to these two, personally, I'd rather have DeMarcus Cousins. Now, Meyers Leonard, a lot of the reason he's not in the league is because of an incident that he did. He said some, very anti-Semitic terms while playing a video game. And he served his suspension. He's done his thing. He's apologized and said, he wasn't aware of that. This happened years ago. The last time he played was like January 9th, 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been a couple years. Hey, he said some stuff he shouldn't have had. He apologized publicly. He owned up to it. He served his suspension and then some because he was only suspended for a week. He served more than enough of a suspension. I think everyone deserves a second chance. People make mistakes. He didn't harm nobody in a physical sense. It wasn't like he went and rioted or something. He made a mistake. He said something he wasn't supposed to, and he owned up to it. Served his suspension and. Give him an opportunity. So I wouldn't mind him getting an opportunity, whether it's the Lakers or another team. Hopefully a team gives him a chance because I think he's a guy. He's not a guy that's a real standout, right? He's not a guy that's going to be a real head turner, but he's a solid contributor. He's a guy that all we really need is somebody that can come in, play 10 to 15 minutes a game. He's a guy that could provide that. He's still young. He's a traditional 7-footer. Could spread the floor a little bit, do multiple things. But I think DeMarcus Cousins would bring the Lakers a lot of the same things, but he is in my opinion, a more sure thing if he can stay healthy. right? Health has always been the biggest issue with DeMarcus Cousins. That and just his mental, like him just, not hurting the team through technicals and stuff, but he does provide such a level of toughness, right? He's a guy that's not going to get pushed around. He's a guy that's not going to take no BS. You need a little bit of that dog, right? And so I wouldn't mind DeMarcus Cousins. Personally, again, Hassan Whiteside is my best choice. Yes, he doesn't spread the floor like these two do, which it appears the Lakers are looking for a floor-stretching big, somebody that can knock down in the mid-range, somebody that can knock down the three ball, somebody in the sense of like a Thomas Bryant. Nerlens Noel, I wouldn't mind. Nerlens Noel, he could be a shot blocker, decent rebounder. He can spread the floor. He could do a lot of things, right? And he could be a solid quality backup, especially in that like 10 to 15 minute role. He's a guy that could start next to Anthony Davis, start next to Thomas Bryant, whatever, right? It gives you a good look at the center position. But I also think Hassan Whiteside, again, not the stretch big that you're looking for, but an incredible shot blocker. He's a running big. He's a lob threat, and he's an incredible rebounder, right? He's a really good rebounder, really good shot blocker. Two things the Lakers could really use. And I think Hassan Whiteside, pair him next to Anthony Davis, pair him next to Thomas Bryant, I think that would be really good, especially him and Anthony Davis. Good luck trying to score, right? Like a lot of the reasons people want, Miles Turner is because of like what could be defensively in the interior. Good luck trying to score on those two. Of course, Miles Turner stretches the floor. He's kind of like the perfect blend of like all these guys, but it kind of is in the same light of like Hassan Whiteside and having a Anthony Davis. Good luck trying to score in that interior, right? You got two guys that are good help defenders and two that are really good shot blockers, and two bigs that are very mobile. That could do a lot for this Lakers team. But it doesn't really look like the Lakers are in a rush or in a hurry to sign either of these guys. Again, I lean more towards DeMarcus Cousins, if I'm being honest. And again, it's nothing against Meyers Leonard. Like I mentioned earlier, he did what he did. He said what he said. He owned up to it. I think he deserves a second chance. But I just think DeMarcus Cousins is the better player. It's just health is the concern. At least Meyers, you can make the argument like you don't have to really worry about health-wise. No, especially he's missed 2 years, so he's had like 2 years of just rest to get himself good. So if he can't stay healthy, then that's a bit of a problem. But DeMarcus Cousins, I just think, again, brings that level of toughness that the Lakers could really use, brings that big body and size, can knock down the three ball. He was really good for Denver in the limited run that he had with them. He's a guy that also has a relationship with Darvin Ham, right? He's a guy that him and Darvin Ham, they had their time in Milwaukee together. So I think that could potentially help as well. I imagine the Lakers, if they bring either of these guys in, it'll be once they have a clear understanding of like the Bojan trade. Are we going to be able to get Nerlens Noel or are we not? Again, I would rather them personally, this is just me personally, I would rather them go and get Alec Burke and Bojan Bogdanovic. Like if you're trying to work it to where, okay, we need to get another player to justify the unprotected first, then I'd rather them get Alec Burke because now you got basically two 43% three-point shooters. Alec Burke can play your shooting guard. You're going to have to give up Lonnie Walker in this deal because I don't see the Lakers trading Russ in that deal. So very likely it's going to be Patrick Beverley, Kendrick Nunn, and Lonnie Walker for Nerlens Noel and Bojan Bogdanovic. So if you're going to do that, I'd rather them go get Alec Burke. Now you get Alec Burke, you get Bojan, and now you have that shooting, and then bring in like one of these two guys. Bring in a DeMarcus Cousins or bring in a Meyers Leonard. Or again, my preference would be Hassan Whiteside. Like that would be who I'd really like ideal. And now you're off to the races, right? Because now you got two shot blocking bigs. You got two floor stretching bigs. You got Wenyen Gabriel who could play, small ball 5, or he could play the 4. And then on top of that, you got two dead-eye shooters that you can surround LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Like, you could have a starting 5 of like Dennis Schroeder, Alec Burke, Bojan Bogdanovic, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. That's a really good starting 5. And then your bench would be, Russell Westbrook, Austin Reeves, Troy Brown, Wenyen Gabriel, Thomas Bryant, Hassan Whiteside, or DeMarcus Cousins, right? Like, you have like real true depth real true players. And then even go look at, once the buyout happens, because if they did do that type of deal, then very likely it's going to be a 3-for-2 swap. So now you have 2 open roster spots. You could then go look at like the buyout market. Obviously, you're going to bring in, let's say, a DeMarcus Cousins, right? So you bring in DeMarcus Cousins, you still have only 14 guys on the roster. You get somebody in the buyout, a solid piece that you think could come in and make an impact, a la Marcus Morris, then that would be, or Markieff Morris, sorry, then that would just be great, right? And now you got another piece to add to your depth already. That would be my ideal scenario. That'd be my ideal situation, if I'm being honest. And then you still have a first-round pick. Maybe you can make some other move. Maybe you can make some other trade. Maybe go look to trade for Cam Reddish or something. That could be another option. But I think that would give you enough depth, give you enough talent, and now you're off to the race to try to go win a championship, right? Now you're in contention. You're probably one of the better teams in the league. And worst case, let's say you don't. Well, now you have a full offseason and a full training camp with all these guys to kind of get everyone on the same page, build that chemistry, build those relationships, and then hopefully you're contending for a championship next season. So anyway, those are my thoughts and opinions, and I just wanted to give you a little update because I was curious, and I know many of you were as well. I had people asking me, what's going on with the DeMarcus Cousins, Meyers Leonard workout, and now we have our answer. Again, just kind of sounds like like they were okay type thing. That's kind of how I took it, but how did you take it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Do you think that, maybe they bring in DeMarcus Cousins, maybe they bring in Meyers Leonard? Would you prefer Hassan Whiteside as well? Do you want them to do the trade for Nerlens Noel, or would you rather have Alec Burke? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comment section below.